Hey everyone, it's Soki Briggs again, here in my war room. So, this time, we're going to talk about the 7 virtues of Bushido. We teach and conduct ourselves in Kidokime-Ryu Karate-do by the Bushido code. Virtues is basically like a standard of, or like a high moral standard, if you will. That's what virtues mean. Bushido basically means way of the warrior. So there's 7 virtues of the Bushido code that we train by. And like I said, tonight we're going to talk about that one and break them down. And this applies again to everyone from 10th Q white belt all the way up to Judan, where I'm at. So it doesn't leave anyone out. Everyone in Kidokime-Ryu Karate-do, basically we all have the same standard within our personal self. Now, the expectations grow more and more the higher rank that you get. Obviously, all your color belts all the way up to your brown belt and through to your shodan, your first black belt. And then even higher after that. So, for instance, we have 3 levels that we go by in Kidokime-Ryu Karate-do. First of all, our belt ranking system is a white belt, a yellow stripe belt, a yellow belt, an orange belt, green belt, blue belt, purple belt, and 3 degrees or 3 brown belts. If someone says they're teaching Kidokime-Ryu, and if they don't have that same thing, they're not teaching Kidokime-Ryu. And they're not teaching by what we set out. And then each one of those color belts are broken down into different levels. Color belts are the Q grades, but each one of those Q grades is broken down to different levels. Your white belt, your yellow stripe belt, your yellow belt, and your orange belt is broken down into the beginner level. And then your green belt, blue belt, purple belt, they're in the intermediate levels. And all 3 of your brown belts, your 3rd Q, 2nd Q, and 1st Q brown belt, or as we refer to them as your 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree brown belt, are in your advanced levels. And then you get to the black belt levels. 1st through 4th are your regular black belt levels. 5th through 8th are your master black belt levels. And then the 9th and 10th are your grandmaster levels. So it doesn't matter whether it's in the beginner level of the Q grade or in your grandmaster levels. We all train in Kidokime-Ryu. Again, if it's actually Kidokime-Ryu being taught, we all train by the Bushido code, the way of the warrior. So our high moral standard of the way of the warrior basically is what we got. So we got 7 of those. And the first one is integrity. When I was in the military, as a drill instructor, and we would teach troops coming in to basic training, we taught them what the definition of integrity is. And we taught them it's always doing the right thing even when no one's looking. So pretty much that's a definition that we go by with integrity. We demand integrity in Kidokime-Ryu. If an instructor tells you you need to go back here in a corner and work on this, you need to be back there wherever at one part of the dojo working on that specific thing, whether it be kata, whether it be self-defense, regardless of what it is. You need to have the integrity in yourself to do that, as well as the black belts need to have integrity to If they're getting ready to test for a dan, like I said, everyone goes in front of a board. So if a black belt gets ready to test for a dan and they're not being still promoted up, and they're given A through Z to work on, they need to have the integrity to work on that also and get ready for that board. So integrity is a very, very important part, and it's an important part when you teach in a class too. If you don't teach Kidokime-Ryu by its purest form, sooner or later it's going to catch up with you. If you go from one Kidokime-Ryu class and then go to another Kidokime-Ryu class, we don't want there to be a difference. The instructors can have a difference in their teaching styles. It gives them a leadway to do that, but the outcome needs to be the same. All the katas need to be the exact same. The techniques need to be the exact same way. You can develop your own fighting style because everybody fights a little bit different. But all this, there's integrity straight across the board in what you need to do and when you need to do it and how it needs to be done. And you need to display integrity doing that. Respect is another one. And that's the second or the next virtue in the 7 virtues of Bushido. That goes without saying. We show respect to each other by bowing to each other. We show respect to each other by saying please and thank you and you're welcome and yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And that only does not happen inside the dojo. It should happen throughout your life. Every aspect of your life, not just inside the dojo, but when you're at work, when you're at church, when you're out eating dinner somewhere, whatever the case may be, you need to show that respect because that's what we teach in Kidokime-Ryu. And again, here's integrity having a part of that also. And then the next one is heroic courage or courage. We've had people come in class before that was scared to do anything. They'd never been subject to any type of martial arts training or any type of physical activity. A lot of them, sometimes you will see people afraid to spar and mix it up in there, and you've got to teach them, never be afraid. And some people are afraid to learn a kata or learn a new technique or learn anything new, but you got to teach them, hey, you got to develop that courage within yourself to press forward and to move on. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're a white belt or some degree of a black belt. You've got to develop that courage and go on. And then the next one of the 7 virtues of the Bushido is honor. You've got to. We teach honoring those who have gone on before us. There's a lot of instructors that I've taken from over the years since I started as a child. Years ago in Western North Carolina, that they're no longer in martial arts or they've retired, and here I am, and I just got promoted last August to Junan, but I've been doing this for close to 52 years. And there's a lot of instructors that I used to train with as a kid that I outrank. But I honor those. When I see them, I show respect to them and I honor them because that's the way that it should be done. Without them, I wouldn't be here. So I show respect and honor them by bowing to them and yes sensei, no sensei, and stuff like that. I might outrank them or something, but I still honor them and show respect to them. And again, these 7 virtues, they all work together hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Again, you can't pick and choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Karate-do, it's a total package. And if you want to be good and if you want to be promoted and if you want to get somewhere in it, it's got to be the total package. You got to do it all and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Integrity, again. and not pick and choose. I think I'll work on this. It doesn't mean you're not going to be better at one thing than you are the other, but you've got to learn it all. So, it's just, and that is just honoring your system and honoring me, or whoever your instructor might be. And the next virtue of the Bushido is compassion. You got to be compassionate to these students. Everybody knows what compassion means and compassionate, and that doesn't. A lot of people thinks, they look at Hollywood and look at some of these films in Hollywood, like The Karate Kid. I can't even remember the guy's name now that Danielson walked in and they were shouting in that dojo, "Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it?" And "No sensei," and all that kind of stuff. And that's Hollywood martial arts. True Karate-do. I'm not saying not be competitive. Whether you're in sport martial arts, whether you do it for a way of life or anything else, you should be competitive. But your biggest competitor, and only competitor really, in my opinion, that you should have is yourself. You always want to be better today than what you were yesterday, and be better tomorrow than what you are today. But you've got to be compassionate to your fellow martial artists when they're going through a rough time, or they're having time figuring something out, a kata, getting it right, or a kick, or a punch, or a form, or something like that. You've got to be compassionate to that and help them out. And the next virtue is honesty and sincerity. You've got to be honest with yourself when you're training. Am I doing this the right way? Am I doing what Sensei told me to do? Am I doing this the way Soki has basically laid it out to do? And you got to be honest with yourself. And if that answer is no, again, you're not honoring your sensei. You're not honoring me, Soki. You're not honoring Kiyoshi. And so you're violating one of the virtues of the Bushido Code. You're not being honest with yourself. And you need to train sincerely. You need to train hard. And the last virtue of the Bushido is duty and loyalty. And we're going to speak on loyal. You need, a lot of students understand the concept that they need to be loyal to their instructor. If they don't, you do. You definitely need to be loyal to your instructor. But that instructor also needs to be loyal to you. Everything works both ways. Up and down the ladder, up and down the chain of command, if you will. You've got to show that loyalty. I had a talk with a gentleman a month or two ago, I guess, something like that, and he was complaining. He knew what rank I was, and that basically that I'm the highest ranking one, or not basically, I am the highest ranking one at Kidokime-Ryu Karate-do. And I guess he was wanting to be in my ear, and he was talking to me about loyalty from him and his master, one of his instructors. And he said that he just wasn't loyal to him, that he wouldn't help him out, that he didn't really care about him any longer. So I sat there and I listened to him, and he was basically griping about his instructor, one of the masters in his system that he took from. So I let him, and he needed to vent. And I'm not going to mention any names or any styles, because I'm not into trashing people or different styles. Everybody has their pros and cons. But I asked him after he got through, I said, "Are you loyal to him?" And he says, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, are you doing everything the right way? Are you loyal to him?" Loyalty is a two-way street. You can't expect somebody to be loyal to you and you not be loyal to them. It's the same thing as respect. It's hard to get respect if you don't give respect first. Well, loyalty works the same way. You've got to be loyal to those above you, and you've got to be loyal to those below you. Um, and whoever it is that, if you're trying to develop good students and you're trying to teach them about loyalty, you've got to be as loyal to them as what you're demanding of them to be to you in order to make that work. You've got to be loyal to your students and try and help them out. But at the same time, they've got to be loyal to you to listen at you and not go off and do whatever it is that they want to do. They've got to be loyal to you. Because sooner or later it's going to bite you in the rear end if you want to remain with that specific style and try and progress and do things. And if nothing else, I mean, you can go back to respect and honor and honesty. I mean, all 7 of these virtues of the Bushido, they all work together as one to make a good person, and you can't pick and choose which one you want to be good at, and that you don't have to worry so much about. You should be worried about all of them, and you should be trying to live up to what that standard is of all of them. So I hope this again gave people some insight on Kidokime-Ryu Karate-do and how we teach, and we'll get another lesson hopefully loaded up on video in the near future. Until then, hope to see everyone soon and train with everyone soon.